All right, guys, so let's check these questions now. Is Sully twins. And as usual, let's take a look at the requirement first. Requirement A, analyze Sully twins' leadership style. They want you to analyze his leadership style before and immediately after the training courses. Yeah, this guy attend a course about how to be a leader, and the question wants you to analyze the differences between the leadership styles before the class and after the class, which is very easy question, right? This is an entry-level question, and I explain why the change of leadership style at ARC was unsuccessful, right? That means he changed his leadership style, but he failed. Why? And you need to know the reasons and tell the examiners or the markers and get the full marks and leave. Easy questions, 2 parts, right? First part is about their leadership styles before and after the class, and second one, tell them the reasons why he failed. And question number B, describe the principles of job enrichment and evaluate its potential application in the contract office at ARC. So what's the meaning of the enrichment? Job enrichment is a term that has been eliminated from your syllabus, but I guess this is an assumed knowledge because in fundamental level, we've learned that one before. So let me help you to be clear. Job enrichment is different from job enlargement. There's 2 vocabularies, the 2 terms you need to know. First is job enlargement. Job enlargement means horizontally increase the job load for our staff. So imagine if you are the manager, you delegate the works to your staff. If you want them to work more, horizontally work more. In simple English, perhaps we could ask them to go for job rotation. This is a typical example of enlargement because the work has not been vertically changed. If the work is vertically changed, that means you give him some authorities or the decision-making authorities. But enlargement means horizontally increase the job load. That means your amount of the job load has been dramatically increased, but without any management in it. So staff are staffs. They're still doing the staff's job. No management work at all. This is called job enlargement, making more. But job enrichment is totally different. This is about to increase the job load of employee vertically. In simple English, I want my staff to do some management work for me so that my time could be freed up to do something even more meaningful to the company. So this is job enrichment. And the question number B wants you to talk about the job enrichment possibility in the company called ARC. Are there any possibilities that the ARC contract office could adopt the job enrichment methodologies or the management style in the company? So this is a very easy question B. Since you may not be aware of the term job enrichment, therefore we spent about 2 or 3 minutes to describe this one further. But this is not our syllabus. It's just assumed knowledge from your previous study. All right. So coming back to A. A is your key questions to study before your exam. Let's read this question together. It's a very interesting question and very easy one. 10 years ago, Sully twins formed the ARC Academic Recycling Company. That's a company existing in the school or in the college to help the college or the school to do some recycling works and to offer a specialized waste recycling services to school and colleges. You see, yeah. the company has been very successful and has expanded rapidly. That means the business model by the boss, Sully Truin, was very good. So the company expanded quickly. To cope with this expansion, Sully has implemented a tight administrative processes, strict administrative processes for operating and monitoring contracts. Contract means the customers or the client's work or the client's requirement. And this administrative procedure is undertaken by the contractor office, who track that collections have been made by the failed recycling team. That means frontier team. And the Sully has sole responsibility for obtaining. His job is focusing on obtaining and establishing recycling contracts. That means business development. He was focusing on the business development and trying to get more customers for the company. Yeah. But he leaves the day-to-day responsibility for administering and monitoring the contract to the contract office. So the detail works left to this contract office to do. He has closely defined, keyword, closely defined what needs to be done. Yeah, he tells the employee what needs to be done in detail for each contract and how this should be monitored. Ladies and gentlemen, up until here, I think you should be aware of the leadership style. Which leadership style is that? Is it 1.1, 1.9, 9.1, 9.9, 5.5, or X and Y? Which theory is better? X and Y theory is better. X1, definitely X and Y theory is better. So in your exam, you don't have to quote the X and Y theory. You don't have to say, according to X and Y theories, blah, blah, blah. You just tell them the features of the X, the features of the Y. That will be enough. Right? And after that, he said, I needed to do this. He said, because the workers in the country are naturally lazy, and the lack of initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, in simple English, what kind of workers and employees are that? Is that X or Y? Definitely X. Therefore, he has to act like an X type of managers or employers in order to cope or manage the X type of employees. Do you agree? Yes, right? And he said, I have found that if you don't tell them exactly what to do and how to do it, then it won't get done properly. Yeah, this is kind of a job discrimination, whatever. But it's true. It happens in the management. We don't call that discrimination. We just use the X and Y different type of theories to get used to it. All right? And most of the employees working in the contract office like and respect Sully. Employee likes him for his business success and ability to take instant decisions. That means employees doesn't want to make any decisions. They are lazy. They don't want to make decisions. They want you to make decisions for him. Whenever, whatever they do, you have to tell them what to do. All right? So this is the style of the employee. Business success ability to take these instant decisions when they refer the problem to him. And some of ARC's employees have complained. Some complained about his autocratic style of leadership. Definitely X. But most of these have now left the complaint. Yes. So who criticized him? X or Y? Y criticized him. Y criticized him, but he refused to answer or refused to respond and refused to change their leadership style. Then the Y type of employee left the company. No more Y, only X in the company. And now left the company to do the work for other organizations. A few months ago, conscious that he was a self-taught manager, right? He considered himself as a self-taught manager. That means a lack of official training, lack of college training, lack of very structured training. Sully enrolled himself on a week's courses with Gapminding, that's the name of the school, a training consultancy, sorry, it's not a school, it's a training consultancy, which actively advocates and promotes a democratic style of management. Autocratic, democratic, that means this kind of school or consultancy are helping their clients or students to change their leadership styles from the autocratic to the democratic. What's the purpose? The purpose is still focusing on the business expanding, because they believe that the democratic style of the leadership could help the company to expand their business further, right? So the course causes Sully to question his previous approach to leadership. It was also the first time for 3 years that Sully had been out of the office during the working hours. What does that mean? That means it was the first time for 3 years left the office during the working hours for a prolonged period of time. That means he was totally tied up with his job. He was too focusing on his job, so that he may not have enough time to expand or diversify his business portfolio. Do you agree? Yes. So the previous style locked him up. Therefore, he needed to change the style to expand the business further. However, each night while he was attending the course, he had to deal with the email from the contract office listing problems with contract and asking him what actions they should take. Why? Why they ask him? Because ex-employee doesn't want to do decision making. They want you to tell them what to do. So therefore, he received a lot of emails asking him what to do next. He became exasperated, that means very angry, by his employees' inability to take decisions to resolve these issues. He discussed his problem with the course tutors. They suggested that his employee would be more effective and motivated if the job was enriched. That means you should go for job enrichment instead of the job enlargement. So guys, you think this is possible in the company of ARC? Is that possible for ARC? No. Why not? Enrichment means, one more time, horizontally or vertically increase the job. Vertically increase the job. In simple English, you need to ask your employee to make the decisions instead of waiting for your reply, right? But do you think the employee currently have that ability? Why not? Because they are X type of employees. They do not possess that kind of trait or qualities to make decisions for you. They are lack of initiatives, they are lazy, naturally lazy, they need to be pushed, they need to be coerced, need to be punished sometimes in order to improve their efficiency. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the questions want you to analyze is the enrichment right here is impossible because the employee was not the right time. So ladies and gentlemen, were enriched and they were empowered to make decisions themselves. This is a very, very wrong suggestions for him. And on his return from the course, Sully called the staff meeting with the contract office where he announced that from now on, employees would have responsibility for taking control actions themselves. That means I delegate, I empower you now, rather than referring the problem back to him. And Sully, in turn, was to focus on getting more contracts and setting them up. That means he was trying to totally focus on the business development. However, the problems with his new arrangement arose very quickly. Of course, what kind of problem will be that? The employee may not have the capability to make decisions, therefore he needs to discuss among each other's and different workshops, different scenario plannings whatsoever, but the efficiency of the decision making is going to be so low. All right, so we can expect that happening. Let's read to check whether it's true or not. However, problems with the new arrangement arose very quickly. Fearful of making mistakes and unsure about what they were doing, led to employees discussing issues among themselves at length. That means in details, before coming to a tentative decision. That means a temporary decision. In simple English, before they make a temporary decision, they need to discuss everything in detail because the lack of the decision-making authority and decision-making experiences and decision-making eagerness, right? They don't have any willingness to make that decisions. The operational recycling team were particularly critical of the new approach. Critical of, doesn't like it. They criticize that. One commented that before, that means before your school, we got a clear decision very quickly. Now, decisions can take several days and appear to lack authority. The new approach was caused tension and stress within the contract office, and absenteeism increased. That means everybody left the company and they didn't want to work here because the working environment was disastrous. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, you see the wrong leadership style causes tension in the company. Wrong decision styles, wrong decision styles for wrong type of employees are gonna make your company in trouble, right? So, and the question want to analyze that. So at the next staff meeting, employees in the contract office asked Sully to return back to his old management style and job responsibilities, and they say, we prefer the old Sully Truin. They said the training course has spoiled you. The training course has spoiled you. Reluctantly, Sully agreed to their request. Doesn't want, but no choice. So all the problems are again referring back to him. However, he's unhappy with his return to the previous way of working. He's working long hours and concerned about his health. And also he realized that he has a little time for obtaining and planning contract, and this is severely restricting the capacity of the company to expand. All right, guys, the question has been completely finished reading. So what is your opinion? Question number A analyzes the leadership styles before and after. When you answer a question like this, you need to have a good structure. The first one, you need to tell them before the courses, he was X. So you tell the examiner what are the features of X management style. For example, like direct supervision. For example, like giving the orders and decisions to the employees directly, helping them to work, and you have to teach them hand by hand and paper by paper, and you have to tell everybody all the decisions are made by yourself and they don't possess any decision-making authorities, whatsoever. So these are the features of the X style. But the problem of the X style is first autocratic, because some of the employee doesn't like your style. The other problem is you are too into the details. Therefore, your expansion of the business, the capability of expanding the business will be severely affected, right? So these are the problems. But after the courses, he changed the style totally. Yeah, this is a good thing. He changed to why. This is good actually, because he want himself to be freed up on business expanding, development, and diversity, and he left some kind of decision making to the employees to make for him, instead of waiting for him. But however, this is a good approach. However, he failed. Why? Why? Because the employees were not right. All those employees were X. The feature of X are lazy, lack of decision-making authority, lack of decision-making eagerness, lack of decision-making initiatives. Therefore, they don't want to work harder. They just wait for the right time or wait for the right decision, and they believe enough will do, right? So these are all what they think, what they believe. Therefore, if you want them to make decisions for you, you're wasting your time. So therefore, wrong people with the wrong management style, the company is in trouble. Therefore, if you want him to expand the business further with diversity, you need to have the right people. Who are the right people? Why? Do we have why? No. Why not? Because they left the company. Left the company because of his previous autocratic leadership style. Therefore, the next step, if he wants to be successful expanding the business, he needs to focus on the recruitment of the new employee, recruitment of more Y instead of X if he wants to expand the business. Therefore, the human resource management directly linked with your strategy management. Strategy management needs your human management or human resource management to help, to be in assistant. Can you follow me, guys? So these are basically the logic behind the questions. I hope you can learn something from this question and help you to ease in. In SBL exam, we will not test you the exact theories or exact terminologies in this way. This is just an entry-level question. And in SBL exam, these are assumed knowledge that you are about to apply in that scenario. All right, guys? And we're going to take a short break. And after that, we come to talk about something new. All right, guys? Enjoy, please.